Hello, how are you? We are going to talk about 6 words you've got to take out of your vocabulary so that you can create more time. I am Dina Cataldo. I am a master certified coach for lawyers who feel overwhelmed and want to grow their practice, make transitions without feeling stressed out. And one of the things I see that creates so much stress is the way that they think. In fact, what creates those feelings of stress, overwhelm, anxiety, everything that we're feeling on a day-to-day basis as lawyers isn't what's going on outside of us. It's what's going on inside of us, specifically what we are thinking. When we speak words, we are reflecting what we are thinking. So if we're telling ourselves, we're busy, we're overwhelmed, I'm stressed out, I'm juggling things, all of those words that we say on a daily basis, we are exacerbating the feelings that we have in our body. We are creating more stress, overwhelm, anxiety. And so what I want to share with you today are 6 words I hear commonly from attorneys that are creating so much stress and overwhelm. And when they start removing these words and start practicing using the words and phrases I'm going to share with you in this episode, you are going to notice a difference. Because if you've ever heard that phrase, like we speak things into existence, that is exactly what we are doing when we are using these words. We are speaking into existence the reality of our practice. And it might sound a little woo-woo, but I want to share with you, when you start practicing these shifts daily and you start really sitting in feelings of calm, grounded, authoritative power, you are not going to want to return to feeling stress and anxiety. You're going to want to keep returning to feeling calm and grounded. I did this in my own practice as a criminal prosecutor, and my clients do it all the time, and they see vast improvements. They make so much more time, and because they have more time, they're better able to problem solve and create more money in their practices and create better habits for themselves that are going to help them long term. Before we get started, I want to invite you to download the Busy Lawyer's Ultimate Time Management Guide. You can download it in the link in the comments, or you can go to dinacataldo.com/busy lawyer. And inside, you are going to get even more tips, not only like the mindset behind it, but you're going to get the strategies that I share with my clients, showing them exactly how to think about what's going on in their week, how to problem solve ahead of time for things that can come up. So they're not having as many fires. They aren't thinking so much about work because they can tell themselves, yes, everything's done. It's all on my calendar. And I set forth the step-by-step process on how to start using a calendar that actually works. When I was in practice, I would have hearings on my calendar and I would have due dates on my calendar, but very rarely, in fact, I can't even think of a time early on in my career, especially, did I have any time blocked to do certain activities. And when my clients start doing this, they start recognizing they can compress timelines. They can start making their days easier when they start implementing what I go through in this Ultimate Busy Lawyers Time Management Guide. So go to dinacataldo.com/busy lawyer and download it. All right, so let's talk the 6 words that you've just got to eliminate from your daily vocabulary. Let's start with the one that every single lawyer probably uses, which is the word busy. And I was talking to a client the other day, and she said, what do you use instead of the word busy? Because how do I describe what my day is? When we are going through our day and we have task after task after task, it's very tempting that when someone asks you to describe your day, you just say busy. I have this story where I went into an elevator. This was my big aha moment, and how the word busy disconnects us and how unuseful it is in our lives. Walk into an elevator, I see a girlfriend, a coworker of mine, and I say, how are you doing? And she says, busy, right? Like she has this whole body reaction, like busy. And when she said that, I had this aha moment. And I just said, busy is just such a horrible word, because when she used that word, she completely disconnected from any ability for us to connect on a meaningful level. And then I started thinking about it. We do this every day. It's like this badge of honor. I think Brene Brown is the one who actually uses that phrase, busy as a badge of honor, to be busy. Lawyers fall into this trap of believing that to be busy means to be successful, to be working hard. To be working hard is to be successful. To be successful is to be showing everybody how busy you are. What busy, that word, does is it disconnects us, not only from the people around us when we're trying to talk to them, but also we are distancing ourselves from what's really going on. And we prevent ourselves from problem solving so that we can calm down our lives. I have another client who is telling me that she's just so busy she can't think. And really what's happening is she hasn't stopped to create time to think and cannot disconnect from that word busy yet. Like that's all that's happening is when we start disconnecting from what's going on moment by moment and just kind of like living in our head, zoom, 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 zoom. When we start to slow our brain down and we start to be able to think clearly, things become less busy. They start to become calm. You start to become grounded. So one of the thoughts that I will offer to you instead of using the word busy is saying, I'm really in the zone. Even if you don't feel that way yet, even if you don't think you are in the zone, you can say things to yourself. If you can't get on board with it, I'm in the zone, you can be like, I'm figuring things out. I'm prioritizing. Start to, when you notice yourself tempted to use the word busy, say, I have some things going on. I have a lot going on, but everything's okay. Right? Start to notice when you use this word, when you are being asked how you're doing. Like actually, when we're not vulnerable with other people, we can't even open up to say how we're feeling, then we show up totally disconnected from ourselves too. Because we're not just disconnecting from other people, we're disconnecting from ourselves. That is word number one, busy. Eliminate it from your vocabulary. Next word, tired, exhausted, run down. Like, think about these words. And usually when I talk to lawyers, they don't just say, I'm tired. They usually say, I'm so tired. It's like dramatic. You can see their whole body just like shifts into this, like, I'm just so exhausted. And what I want to offer to you is that when we tell ourselves we're tired, we make ourselves more tired. We can be tired all day long. Maybe we only got 5 hours of sleep the night before. But to keep reminding ourselves that we're tired, I'm exhausted, is a drain on our energy. It actually creates that busyness in our brain, right? That inability to think because we're so focused on that feeling of tired. So what I want to share with you instead is to start shifting what's going on in your brain. And instead of saying, I'm tired, which I'm feeling it right now, like as I keep saying it, I want to yawn. So instead of saying those words, you can shift into, you know what? I'm getting in the zone. I'm getting in the zone. I'm getting my second wind. Start talking to yourself like that and get yourself away from a word that is just going to drain you and make you more tired. All right, the next word I want to use for share with you is the word try. Now, try doesn't seem like it may be a word that would drain your energy or take time away from your day or anything like that. Really easy to see how if I'm just thinking I'm busy and I'm staying busy and my brain's not quiet and I keep telling myself I'm tired, of course, I'm going to slow down and my brain isn't going to work as clearly, so I'm not going to be able to focus and get my work done. Okay, I get it. But why the word try? I want to share with you that every time I hear a lawyer tell me they're going to try to do something, it's never with an intention, a powerful intention, any authority. It's always like, I'll try it. Very wishy-washy. And when we do that, we set ourselves up for failure. Okay, so Star Wars, Yoda saying, do or do not, there is no try. He had it together. This is something that is real. If we go into a situation and we say, I'll try it, and you say it in that way, almost as if you're already defeated. And if you feel defeated when you say that word, I want to offer to you, you've already lost. So for instance, if you're going to go into a new calendar management system like the one that I have in my guide, you might say, I'll try it. And you've already lost, because what your brain is doing is it's saying like, yeah, I'll try it, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. That is the mentality that is going to prevent you from improving how you manage your time. If you go into a project and you think to yourself, okay, this is the result that I want to get, this is the argument that I want to make, and you start reviewing cases and you're not seeing anything, you're like, oh, whatever, I can't do this. You can just tell your body just reacts to it. You start to sink down, your body starts to close, you feel disappointed, you feel maybe a little annoyed or nervous or fearful. And when we say something like, I'll try it, it usually comes from a place of that depletion, that I've given up. What I want to offer to you, unless you're saying try as in, you know what, I'm going to try it in a very excited kind of way, in a way that feels hopeful and almost delighted because you're going to be experimenting. Unless you're saying it that way, this is what I want to offer to you. If you're saying something like, I'll try it, and you feel really depleted around it, I want you to start saying, I intend to. I intend to follow my calendar this week. I intend to open up the guide to page 1. I intend to complete the research today. Start talking to yourself more powerfully, and you cannot help but feel more powerful. Start talking intentionally about your future, and you will create a more intentional future. The word try is a weak word. It lacks power. We need to have fuel to put forth the actions, to take the actions that we want to take, and try is not good, clean fuel. Instead, I want you to use the word intend. I intend to do these things. Because when you do, your brain is going to be triggered and it's going to think, okay, yeah, I'm intending to do this. But if you say try, your brain's going to say, oh, I guess I'll try. It might not work, but I'll try it. And you've already lost. If you say intend, you'll get a different result. Another word I want to offer to you to cut out of your vocabulary is the word overwhelmed, or other words that are kind of like overwhelmed, like I'm juggling so many things, I'm doing so much, I'm so busy, right? That word overwhelmed is going to do the same thing the word busy did. It is going to put you in a state of brain drain. So your brain is going to get fuzzy, you're going to blank out. You might even feel confused and have thoughts like, I don't know where to start, I can't do this, you feel frozen, paralyzed. When you notice a feeling of overwhelm, or you notice that you're saying something out loud like, I just feel so overwhelmed, I want you to stop and I want you to say, okay, I'm not overwhelmed. No matter what you feel, I want you to just say it to yourself. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just learning to prioritize. Because overwhelm is a signal that you are not prioritizing. That's actually something that I see a lot of my clients struggling with. And so we practice like getting their brain on board to move out of overwhelm and start problem solving. The Busy Lawyer's Guide is an example of this. It actually starts to get your brain problem solving about your week to make it easier as you move through it, so that you're not moving from fire to fire. You're actually prioritizing, learning to prioritize what's most important during your week, and you're letting everything else go. One of the reasons we feel overwhelmed is because we're thinking that we need to get everything done right now, that everything needs to happen this week. It has to happen today. That's never the case. What we want to do is we want to look at what is going on in our calendar ahead of time so we can start planning and prioritizing. So when you notice the word overwhelmed or juggling coming up, you want to put that all on pause. You want to just say, okay, I see you, but all that means is that I am going to be prioritizing now. And especially if you're feeling overwhelmed, I just want to offer to you, you can just do a quick brain download of what's going on in your brain. Do not let the list tell you that you're going to feel overwhelmed, right? Most of us just react. They say, oh, that list's horrible, I'm going to feel overwhelmed now. No, just look at the list and just say, okay, what's next? What needs to get done today? And then figure it out step by step. It's not overwhelming, it's prioritizing. It's a much more powerful word to have in your vocabulary. Another word that I hear is lazy. I hear this especially with lawyers who describe themselves as procrastinators. No, you're not lazy. None of us are lazy. If you're a lawyer and you're here, you are not lazy. What's happened is you've gotten your brain into a state of probably overwhelm, probably busyness, and now your brain is so drained that you can no longer function as you would normally. When we have these thoughts in our head around busy, tired, trying, overwhelm, all of these things, we then naturally feel more tired, more overwhelmed, more busy, and we start to really drain our brain. Think of yourself as a battery, and you're a full battery in the morning, but then as the morning goes on, you start to drain yourself more with all of the decisions that you're making, with the tasks that you're following through on. But then you add in another layer of all of these feelings I've been talking about, all of these thoughts I've been talking about, and you drain your battery even further. So then by the time 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock comes, you don't want to do a darn thing. But instead of recognizing that you need rest, that you need a break, you call yourself lazy so that you can keep moving through the day as if you should be doing something else. And I'm going to talk about that word in a second. So lazy is not something that you are. It is just the experience that you are having. So one of the things I want to offer to you that's much more powerful is that you're having an experience that is reflecting what happened earlier in the day, or maybe even in the week. You might have things going on in your life, something happening medically to someone in your family, something that's happening emotionally with you, maybe another relationship, whatever is going on. And that has an energetic drain too. And when we don't stop to replenish ourselves, we get into a place where we need rest. We need to have it, and our body will find a way to make it happen. And you can call it being lazy, it doesn't mean it's true. So, what I want to offer to you is that when you notice yourself wanting to call yourself lazy, you just say to yourself, no, I am deciding to take rest. This is me deciding to take rest. Gain more authority over your life. Do not let these words that we've been taught over the years to describe what's going on in our life determine your reality. Because in reality, what's happening is that you haven't replenished yourself to the state that you needed in order to do focused work. So just decide to take rest. Give yourself an hour. Take a nap. You can say, you know what? I'm not going to do anything for the rest of the day. I will prioritize my week so that I can get done what needs to get done. And today is my day to rest and replenish. The last word I want to share with you that you've got to remove from your vocabulary is the word should. When I hear this word from my lovely lawyers, my lovely lawyer clients, I just want to send them so much love because I have been in their shoes, and yours too if you're using the word should. I used to tell myself should all the time. I should be better. I should be working harder. I should get more done. I should know this by now. I should have done this. I should have done that. When we use the word should, we are judging ourselves. It's the opposite of love. So we are giving ourselves tons of hate when we're telling ourselves that we should be doing X, Y, Z. What I want to offer to you instead is that you get to decide what happens. You get to decide what your actions mean. You get to decide that you have control over your life. So when you notice yourself saying, I should have known better, you say, wait a minute, I didn't know better. And I get to decide how I feel about this. I didn't know better. And now I do, which is great. Now I can change in the future. Same thing goes with you know what? I should be working right now. I should be working harder. And question that thought. I love getting curious about my brain because my brain likes to lie to me. All of our brains lie to us. And so you can ask yourself, should I be working harder? Why do I think I need to be working harder? I'm working pretty hard right now. What's going on, brain? And usually all it is that we're telling ourselves that I should be working harder to beat ourselves up, to basically beat ourselves into submission. And it hasn't worked it's not working right now. right? Like just know that this is not something that is long-term sustainable for you. Even if it works to get you through an hour of work, you're grinding at that point, which means you're burning yourself out. Your battery is depleted and you've decided you're going to keep going. It's like when you're in a car and you run out of gas and you just keep hitting the gas, keep hitting the gas, eventually the whole tank's going to dry out, right? You're going to hurt your engine. So it's important to know what you are thinking and start getting a lot of awareness and start deciding intentionally how you want to make your change. So let's run through these. Instead of busy, you're in the zone, you're figuring things out, you're going to get it done. The most important things that need to get done are going to get done. Instead of tired, you're going to say, look, I'm just going to get my second wind. I'm going to figure this out. Let's go. Instead of try, you are going to intend. Instead of overwhelmed or juggling, you are just going to prioritize. Instead of lazy, you're making the decision to take rest. Instead of should, you are deciding what is best for you and what your next move is. All right, I hope that this gave you some like real awareness of what's going on in your brain and some ways that you can shift out of it. I highly encourage you to download the Busy Lawyer's Ultimate Time Management Guide because that is going to give you even more strategy to get your time back. And when you get your time back, you get to think more clearly. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.